Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 of this series between VOR and Shaft as we spawn into Land of Fire. Let's have a look at lineups. Here in the north, in the green, VOR bringing Ohio Kremlin, Des Moines, Haonu, Double Moskva, and Triple Daring. Ordinarily, you like to see, well, I don't say you like to see, but most teams opt for a little more variety in their destroyer lineups. VOR basically eschewing that and saying, nope, we like Daring on this map. Let's just triple up. Stats. What's Shaft up to down here?
Shaft have a double Kremlin, slightly unusual, with a Napoli, 3 Moskvas, 2 Darings, and a Harugamo, and both of the Kremlins are going the same direction. I don't think they're going to both go right over to the side. I think Vert's Kremlin is going to be more mid, but they are making, you know, more battleship presence over on the AB side.
Quick look over kind of some of that initial deployments, like you like to bring up there. You can see that double battleship moving over to the eastern half of the map. Who is that? That's Pepega is kind of, like you said, taking a more of a southerly line along the H line, headed all that way. But, you know, with triple destroyer, you almost expect VOR to maybe try to contest each cap, but even now it looks like they're sending 2 Darings to the center.
Yeah, and Shaft are going more heavy over towards C, so they might actually have a pretty easy ride over on this C cap. The Haru, which normally you wouldn't expect to be capping, might actually end up capping, although maybe one of the VOR Darings will rotate over towards C if they can get B easily.
Maybe.
We'll see how that goes. Henning, can we ask you a quick question? So, double Kremlin versus maybe like Kremlin, Ohio, or something like that. Why would you bring 2 Kremlins?
That usually means they're going very aggressive. You want to put these Kremlins into like a very, very forward positioning. I'm actually wondering if they bring the Kremlin to the F4 island position there.
Well, 2 weekends ago, we saw I think it was in the EU finals, we saw one of the teams, I forget who it was, they tried to smoke a Kremlin up to this island. Do you remember? It was a very, very odd play. And we're seeing that here, but without the smokescreen.
You don't need a smokescreen to get there in the
No, exactly.
Yeah. He's getting single fired though.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I think Vert will expect that, because if you're going to do this in the open and you know there's a destroyer there, it's to be expected. Really. That's the question. I mean, it is a cross torp. There are torps coming from the other Daring as well.
Oh no, Nibieski in the middle of the board doesn't have his hydro up. He's about to discover that is a real problem.
Oh,
that's bad. That's very bad for VOR.
Like,
that
wow, that's catastrophic. Now, Vert is taking a whole lot of torpedoes, though. Wow.
It's gonna be like 6.
There's also a gunfight going on between Flow and Classic Noun are duking it out. Classic Noun down to 7k and healing. Vert losing 2/3 health. Oh, there's a lot going on right now. Okay, Vert is going to get to the island with that Kremlin. Classic Noun is unspotted and safe currently, although down a lot of hit points. Flow will get that cap.
I'm not sure how many torps Vert took on the bell, because his healing potential might be screwed now.
Some of the late torps that came in from Nebieski, at least a couple went into the bow, and then yeah, he took probably at least 3 on the belt.
But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a half health Kremlin, or would you rather be missing a Daring?
I mean, I'd much rather have my Daring back, but I mean, just definitely, you know, I'll say bad trade for VOR, right? You lost an entire ship that you shouldn't have lost.
Oh,
it's a hydro destroyer. It's a hydro destroyer.
Watch the torps on. So Renegades from VOR. No, they're okay. Rushia also got torps coming.
Ruha taking one, yeah. And now here comes the Kremlin salvo. Oh my goodness. Vert leaving just almost nothing behind here. VOR just melting ships here less than 5 minutes into the game. They're already 2 ships down.
I'm surprised they tried to get that cruiser still into A, because this command position is designed to prevent a cruiser from actually doing that, and you can't see why.
Like, that's why you put Vert there, to deny exactly what just happened, and they weren't able to kill Vert. I mean, he's really beat up, but he's still alive. You know that. You know he's still on the board.
Here we go. Here's Zill going past the Kremlin of Vert as it gets dropped by the Howden Liu bombs. Oof, nasty bomb drop there. And of course, that's going to keep happening. Oh, no, sorry, it's not going to keep happening because they have...
No,
this is why I'm so surprised about this.
However, Yanaya is pushing south, which is probably designed to put pressure on Vert, but Vert's got Yanaya's broadside, kinda.
Yeah,
Unless...
I just...
It's not going to be enough for Citadels.
It's all, I don't know. I don't want to say this because this is a very, very, very experienced team, but it's almost like VOR's just like, here you go, you can have another ship. Here you go, you can have another ship.
Yeah,
Okay, so Renegade in the daring in the middle is trying desperately to grab B, but keeps getting forced off by torps and radar. Another set of torps just going past the rear end there. VOR are pushing a Des Moines into Charlie to try and stop that, but that's 2v4.
I mean, yeah, it's a 2-4 on the C flank. Like, C flank was already VOR's weak side, and I guess for the moment they've said, well, we're already down ships, we might as well try something, so let's go for it, because Asphodelis there just getting hammered by Mosfa Napoli AP, and that's going to continue. I mean, they might pick up B, but if you're Shaft, do you even care about letting them have B right now?
You have no reason not to contest it, at least.
Oh, no, contest it, but my point is if they pick it up, you're not really sweating. You've got almost a 400-point lead, and the game is barely just still getting started.
The problem with the Charlie side of the map, as Asphodelis is finding out, is that the islands over there are quite flat. And so if you are spotted, the chances of a cross-shot coming in, just dipping shells over the island and hitting you is quite high. Chat Band is also pushing up the 10 line, which is going to start putting a lot of pressure on the backside of the Des Moines for VOR, who is being forced to reverse.
Shaft is so far ahead. This is actually just Shaft's game to lose.
Shaft definitely, they brought...
But what...
Go ahead.
What were we saying, Henning? What were we saying? Just between the two matches, we were saying, well, you know, the last game was Shaft's to lose as well.
Yeah. Now, they brought Kamikazes' Mosfa over to push Renegade off. Renegade was probably 75% done with that cap. They radared him to shove him out. I'm sure he'll go back and try again. But, I mean, it's just the lead is continuing to build. We're coming up on 500 points now.
Yeah. And none of the ships are in good positions either. The Kremlin is getting farmed by a daring of all things. The Mosfa can't really do anything. He's actually down to 15k. And we have the 5-line Mosfa that's kind of doing nothing because Shaft doesn't even need to go into B anymore. So this Mosfa doesn't really provide anything.
To be honest, if I'm Shaft, I'm probably looking at getting Exodus into C, although he's lit for the moment. I'd still try to get him up there and get him on the cap because that just speeds things up and puts more pressure on him.
We've got a rush going. I think Renegade is going to go around on Vert in the middle on the 4 line. Shaft have actually pulled Zill over to try to go towards C. I think they've said you can have B. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Here we go. First shells do not kill Renegade.
Nope. Here comes the
the lines.
They should be able to get him.
Well,
I say that, but they need to kill him before his guns reload. They still haven't done it. Wow, that came way closer than it should have been.
You might say that.
Wow. That was way closer than it should have been.
Okay, so Classic Noun steps into B.
Oh, they hit him.
Like Shaft have just said. It looks like Shaft have just said, hey, you can just have B, we'll take C and A, no problem.
I mean,
Renegade is radar right now, so he's probably gonna die.
And not 250. Still got to land one. They're going to get him eventually. There he goes. I feel like Renegade was trying to kind of be a little too efficient right there, and should have just kind of dumped everything. Like you got to, if you're going to make a charge, you got to get that kill as quick as you can.
That's the danger with a single lone torps. If you're doing it against a target that's reversing, they can quite easily just turn slightly and you end up missing. So
yeah,
you've either got to get a bit more of an angle or you've got to just go for the normal spread of torpedoes. But against a healthy target, that might not kill them. So,
well, we're 10 minutes into this game and it's a 600-point lead for Shaft. I cannot envision a scenario where they don't win this and force a game 3.
Okay, Yanaya in the Kremlin for VOR from the 2 line is pushing down into the cap against Kimilil and Zando and Flo in the Moskva Kremlin and Daring.
I'm actually surprised Pepega Zando doesn't just go for the ram here and ends it. I think he's scared of the Daring coming over from mid, but
nah.
They have a Raider to support as well. And they know the Daring's low.
These torpedoes from Flo look pretty good right now, so Yanai is going to take a whole bunch more damage before he gets onto this cap.
I think the plan might be, you know, hey, let's try it with the torps. If the torps don't work, then we can push the Moskva and the Kremlin around and just get him.
Takes 2 on the belt there just to get into the cap, and I'm with you. If I'm Pepega, I just come around the corner and just take the ram. I mean, you got a 600-point lead. You can afford to trade ships. It's not a big deal.
And critically, you keep the cap.
Yes, but it's the faster you pull their ships off the board, the faster you get to game 3. You know, the longer you leave them on the board, the more opportunity you're giving them to potentially find a way back in, however unlikely it might seem.
So Zando's Kremlin will see those torpedoes going past. That's the first set of 5. There is another set of 5 coming. Once that second set of 5 comes past, Zando will know that there's no more torps in the water.
They're actually just forcing Yanaya forward here. He's getting spammed from 2 directions.
Yeah, they know his DCP is down. I mean, they know he took the torps, so got at least 1 fire on him. I mean, if you're Shaft, you don't have to, you know, we were talking about sending Pepe up there to get the ram. You don't have to at this point, probably.
Zando probably panicking slightly, trying to dodge those torpedoes, but actually they ran out anyway.
All skill.
So will we see the Kremlin of Shaft push forward now to try and get that finishing kill on Yanaya?
The Mind tries to contest C. That's.
I was gonna say, you know, hat tip to VOR because they are just like, we're gonna stand on all the caps and make you earn it.
Respawn needs to be a bit careful here. You can get devastated. Yeah.
Awesome, taking a big hit. Yeah. Yeah, you've got to watch those angles against Des Moines for sure. Improve pen angles on that AP.
You almost get the sense that maybe VOR is, I mean, obviously they're going to continue to fight all the way to the end, but maybe they're trying to draw these guys into making a mistake or two. I mean, the Ohio position, now I'm way over on the 10 line, looking to maybe slap one of these cruisers out of the way. But the points are ticking up so fast, you're over 920 now for Shaft. They do manage to bag the Moskva. Right there in the middle of the board, they get kamikazes with a side shell, but Asphodelis is going to go down to the Napoli secondaries here in just a moment.
Yep, and Naomi just took a torp on the aft end in the Ohio as well. Nose in against Possum, shells out. Yep,
gets the kill.
Possum. Okay, that's a 35,000 hit point Ohio against a Napoli in smoke and a Haru. Here we see kamikazes being ended in that replay. Torps out from Exodus Blaze in the Haru towards Best Naomi's Ohio.
Game's probably going to end even sooner than that because over at C, at A, Yanaya the farming is continuing. He's down under 10k. He's got to be getting low on heals at this stage. He's managed to avoid the torpedoes, but
Classic Noun's Daring goes down to Flo's Daring.
Yep.
If Yanaya
trying to get
goes down
on the Moskva, but nothing.
If Yanaya goes down, that's
game. It's gonna be game in seconds, one way or another. But there he goes.
Yeah.
Shaft comes roaring back on the back of what I would classify as a couple of critical VOR mistakes. Certainly, the Daring loss in B at the start of the match, a huge misplay for a Hydro Destroyer to get torpedoed like that.
Do you know what we have now? For the first time this weekend?
We have game 3.
Hey!
We have a 1-1. Which is of course what every viewer and caster wants is a 1-1. So yeah, we're going to go to a tiebreaker between VOR and Shaft, 1-1. So we'll head back to Prague and prepare for that tiebreaker.